Hi Peyton, this is Mrs. Tucker. Um, I'm going to kind of give you a tutorial to go through the identifying nutrients lab that you're kind of stuck on. So I'm also going to send you an email. This document right here, I want you to use this lab setup instead of the actual lab that the Edgenuity site is providing for you. I think this is a little bit easier. It's got some notes to it for you to refer back to and a little bit less um, that'll hopefully maybe kind of keep you focused so that you can just get through it, and then we'll talk about summary a little bit later. So before you start the lab, you'll want to get onto the website that looks like this, and then you'll also want to have this Word document available that I'm going to email to you. So if you can print this or just pull it up on your computer and kind of go back and forth like I'm going to do. So the way to do this, let me reset this thing. You're going to want to start with A, and you're going to hear my dog maybe whining in the background, so I put her outside. Take A, test tube A. You have all of these different samples, A through S, and your job is to run them through all 4 of these tests and see exactly what's in them. So the first thing you're going to do is pull A up into the holder here, and then you're going to come down here to this section here and click on the 4 different tests. So the first 2 that you're going to do are carbohydrate tests. This one right here, the Benedict test, is testing for simple carbohydrates, what they call single chain, which you'll learn about more when you get into high school biology. Then they have the Lugol test, which is testing for more complex carbohydrates, things that have multiple chains to those. Then you have the protein test. The protein test is a Burette test, and the protein test is looking for protein, which is what's used to build muscle. And then you have the lipids test over here, which is a Sudan red test. And the lipids is checking for fats and oils. So the first thing you'll do is you've got your test tube A here, and I just drag that over. Then you're going to come down here and click this button, Test. And you kind of have to wait. Doing this lab, you'll want to set aside about an hour to do it because it's going to take quite a bit of time to run through all the different samples. And then you're also going to record your data. So it's going to take that over, put this one, the Benedict's test has to heat, and it's changed color. So the red color in this one indicates that yes, you actually have a carbohydrate that is present in that particular substance. So you're going to go back over to your Word document here, and I've got a few notes that are set here. So carbohydrates, here's your column. They're used, examples are breads and pasta, they're used for energy. Your tests, you have 2 different ones for carbohydrates. You have the Benedict, which is going to turn orange, red. I think it kind of looks more like a red. If you're doing the Lugol, it's going to turn purple. You also have it set up for the protein. Proteins are in meats and dairies. That's used to build muscles. And that's going to turn purple if it's reacting. And then the lipids are your fats and your oils. And the Sudan test is for that one. And you'll see bubbles that show up in the test tube if the fats are present. So Benedict's solution here was a plus. So if you note here, it says plus if present, 0 if not, and that's the same for all 4 of these tests. So I'm going to put a plus here. Okay. Then I'm going to kind of put this away and go back to my other solution. All right, so I've tested this one. Now I'm going to test the Lugol. Okay, it changed color. But if you go back to your Word document here, Lugol, and I'm looking here for Lugol, it's supposed to turn purple if it's present. Well, it didn't turn purple. Let me go back and show you again. It turned like orange, I guess you could say. So I'm going to go back to my Word document, and I'm going to put down here for Lugol, 0. Not happening. Not found there. Okay. Then I have to go to the Burette solution. So I'm going to come back over here to my protein test, and it says Burette here, and I'm going to hit the button Test. And it looks like I have to hit it twice in my computer. Okay, pulls out the Burette solution, and it's supposed to turn purple if it has it. Nothing. Okay, so go back over here to your Word document, Burette, 0, did not react, so it does not have those things in it. Alright, the last one we have to test then is the Sudan red. So I'm going to click on the button Test. And remember, for this one, it's supposed to bubble. It's supposed to get bubbles in that solution. I see a color change, but I don't see any bubbles. I might, I'm waiting, a couple seconds, and I don't see a reaction. So I'm going to go back over to my Word document, and I'm going to click 0 here because I didn't have a reaction. Okay, and then that's pretty much that. And if you wanted to, over here on the sides, you can kind of jot a few notes here for yourself. I can get down there. Yeah, see, for me it's not gonna, but if you're handwriting this, you could just put in a note here that says carbs, so it has those. Let's go to B and do that one again, a different one, same test. I'm gonna move my test tube over, attempt to move my test tube over, put A back. Now I'm gonna select B, put B right in there. I wish it made noises, like a little clink, see the glass noises, that'd be perfect. Then I'm gonna run it through the test. See, a lot of this lab is going to be waiting. So maybe eat lunch while you're doing it, or, okay. Then this one has to heat. It's the only one that has to heat. You wait. Oh, no color change. So what do you think that means? I'm kind of thinking that that means, since it didn't change colors, that there are no simple carbohydrates in that particular sample, which is B. So I'm going to go back over to my Word document over here, and I'm going to put a 0 there because it didn't react. So I don't think it has that, simple sugars in it. Okay? Then I'm going to test the Lugol. Remember, this one is the more complex carbohydrates. Okay, it didn't have a color change, it turned orange, but I got to go back to my Word document over here and double check right here. It says it's supposed to turn purple if it has the complex, and it did not. So I'm going to put a 0 here. It doesn't have carbohydrates at all. So I'm going to put it back. Okay, then I'm going to do the protein test. Ooh, that changed to nice purple. Okay, so let me go back to my notes. Burette solution turns purple if it's present. So here's a plus. Whoops. Plus. Okay, because it's there. So this particular substance has proteins. And then the last one you have to do is fats. So we go back over, close this out, hit test. Okay, remember it's supposed to bubble if it has fats in it. Whoo! There's some nice bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to click a plus there, because yes indeed, that one has fats that are present. Okay, so your job today or tomorrow when you get to it is to run through all of these samples, and remember it's going to take you probably about an hour to go through them slowly, so you're not making mistakes as you go through, because remember I said it's like a mystery, so you have to gather information about all these different samples and then be able to answer questions. So this becomes like your grid of clues that you're going to use to then later on answer the questions. So when you get done with this, take a picture of it and email it to me or send it to my phone, or when you complete it all out, you can do it on the computer and then just email it to me and let me know that you're done. And then I'm going to walk you through the next step that you have to do with this assignment. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to call me. Number is 231-649-1747, or you can email me. So talk to you later. Hope this helps.